everyone, my name is Sloan and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am back in my sunroom, office, plant room, and the renovations are done for now. There's definitely more that we're planning on doing. It's definitely not completely finished, as you might be able to see from like the lack of trim around the windows, but today I thought it would be fun to give you a little renovation update, show you the new green walls, talk about some of my future plans for what I'm going to do for this room, and show you all of the plants that I keep in here so far. I also did want to share, I got this cool gimbal for Christmas that hopefully will keep my phone really steady, and I haven't tried it yet, so this will be my first time trying this little gadget out, and yeah, hopefully it'll make my plant chopping videos super steady and gorgeous, but we're gonna try it today in my office here first. All right, everyone, so I thought I'd start over here on my fun desk, which has these bookshelves here, which are really nice. No plants down there right now, but you know, I have thought about it. Here on the corner of my desk, I have this painted lady that I got as a cutting, and it's put out 2 different leaves for me. One of them's still kind of in the process of popping out. This tiny baby leaf I just think is so cute, and this was one of my wish list plants, so I'm really excited to have it, and I think this pot is just the perfect pot for it. But I do have to have it kind of like on the edge, so that's why it's over here on this side of my desk. And then here I have my Albo Syngonium that is just constantly growing for me. I think this one was the newest leaf, so it's got this really pretty patch of white and it's doing really great. I love it so much, I want to have more than one, so I think at some point I'll probably propagate it and then I can have more than one just in case, you know, something happens. Next, I have this Syngonium Frosted Heart that I also got from a cutting. It has some like paint stripper on it from the renovations. I talked about that in a previous video, but it put out this leaf for me when it was still propagating, which I find a lot of my plants put out leaves, you know, while they're still in water, and it hasn't put anything out since I put it in soil, but it's only been in soil for a few weeks, so it has time. Over here on this part of my desk, I have this Epipremnum Skeleton Key on a little moss pole. I put it on this moss pole a few weeks ago and it hasn't grown at all, but it seems to be doing pretty well and I really like it in this pot. I do have long-term plans to hopefully hang some terracotta pots on the walls. That was part of the reason I really wanted green. So I had to go run around to find a green wall, but like, look at how well these colors complement. So I'm hoping to get little terracotta pot holders, and I'll just have terracotta pots everywhere with plants, but I have yet to do that. As I mentioned, this renovation is in progress, but I have moved all my stuff back in, so you know, it's good enough for now, at least to show you guys a little bit of an update. So next to the skeleton key is this Philodendron Cream Splash that I also got as a cutting that is in this beautiful peacock chair. I'm really excited about it. And I got it at a plant shop actually, which I was excited to find because I think it is vintage and I still have the price tag on it. I guess I should take that off. Oh well. But anyway, the Cream Splash has put out 2 leaves for me since I potted it up, and neither one is variegated. They're both completely green. So yeah, I'm hoping, you know, these are very juvenile leaves, are really small, so I'm hoping after a while it'll put out a splashier leaf. I don't know what the mother plant looks like at all, so I really don't know what to expect in terms of variegation, but you know, I'm hopeful. We'll just keep waiting and seeing. Hanging in this corner is this really long string of pearls. I am in love with it. I did underwater it once a while ago, and now there's some dead pearls up there, but for the most part, it seems to be doing really well. I water it when the little windows that are in here close. So you can see that little stripe. I water it when that little stripe kind of goes dark, and that seems to work pretty well for me as long as I notice. That's kind of the kicker. You have to really keep your eye on it. So it's nice to have it in my office so I can see it pretty well. And then back in this corner is my large Ponytail Palm, which is so luscious and pretty. Ponytail Palms are one of my all-time favorite plants, and they grow really tall if given the right conditions. So I'm hoping that having it in this bright sunny room will be really, really good for it and help it grow super tall. It's already put out a lot of new growth, which is awesome because it's winter. So I'm really excited about that. And ponytail palms are fantastic because I don't know any other plant that can be watered as little as a ponytail palm. You can ignore these things so much. And they do pretty well in like lower lighting, but they won't grow. So I mean, it just depends on if you want it to grow or not, but it will live even if it's in lower lighting conditions. So in front of the ponytail palm, I have a few different plants. I have this Philodendron silver sword that is very juvenile. I just potted this up pretty recently with this moss pole that it's not connected to, but they're both in there. And this leaf is not doing too hot, so I'm just keeping an eye on it, but it seems to be, you know, there's a little new growth point right there, so I think it'll be just fine. I just need to give it some time. And then to the right is this Begonia beefsteak cutting that I also potted up pretty recently, and it's done nothing, but it's still alive, it's still kicking, so that's all right by me. And then down here is this Butterwort Pinguicula that I just bought recently. It seems to be doing okay. I don't know what like that fuzz right there is, so I guess I'll look at that after this video. So I don't know, I'm still figuring this one out. I should probably watch more care videos on it, but it's really cool because it's carnivorous and will catch oh, there's a fungus gnat crawling, that's disgusting, but it will catch fungus gnats on its leaves and then eat them. So the leaves are sticky. So I'm really excited to add it to the collection. I'm hoping that I learn how to care for it, and I wouldn't mind having a bunch of these all around my house because they're cute, like I enjoy having them, and you know, they're also beneficial. They'll eat bugs, and it's not just fungus gnats, they'll eat other bugs as well. Yeah, I call this little area of my office my fun desk because this is where I do fun things like edit videos and work on crafts and that kind of stuff. So now I'll show you the other side of my office. Oh, and then these are north-facing windows, and then this one over here is an east-facing window. So yeah, as far as renovations, we got a new back door, which is very exciting. And then over here is my actual work desk, which is a standing desk, and I absolutely love that. And I only have one plant over here, which is my Philodendron Splendid, which I also potted up semi-recently, and it hasn't grown any new leaves since, but yeah, I don't know. It seems to be doing okay, at least. I don't know. We'll just keep watering it and hoping for the best. I don't expect anything too crazy from my plants right now because it is winter, but yeah, as long as they're still living right now, I'm pretty happy. And yeah, as you can tell, none of the windows have any trim. So if you see future videos, I'll probably still film in here. Just ignore that. We're getting new windows, so there's really no point in like trimming it all out to just have to take it off again. But now it's winter, so we're gonna wait to get the new windows. So anyway, down here I have a few plants. So this Ficus Audrey back there, I moved it up pretty high and it was kind of behind a few plants, and I think it wasn't getting enough sun, and that's why those newest leaves are super tiny. I also like didn't really keep up on watering it while it was kind of hidden back there. And it's kind of funny because I've had it for months and then it hadn't put out any leaves for me or anything. And then I move it to this kind of like secluded place where I didn't get as much sun, and then it put out 2 leaves for me. So yeah, I don't know what that's about. But I'm hoping that I kind of moved it over here, so it's between this east window and a couple south facing windows over here, so it should get a lot more sun and hopefully enjoy it a bit better over here. And then to the right is kind of my sad Philodendron Birkin. It had more leaves over the summer. I couldn't really tell what was wrong with it. It got these weird like spots. I don't know how to explain it. I was pretty sure it was something fungal. So I sprayed fungicide, and I mean, the spots are gone, so I don't really know what that was about. So anyway, it used to have more leaves, and now it has like 2, and only one of them looks good. I guess it has 3. There's like a really disgusting one back there. So I'm also hoping that this one enjoys this spot because it was in kind of a lower light spot while we were in the middle of renovations. So hopefully it likes it. This is kind of my corner of plants to keep an eye on, honestly. This one especially. So this is my goldfish plant. It's one of my all-time favorite plants. I've had it for years, and when we first moved into this house, I put it up really high. and kind of forgot about it. And so it got a little bit underwatered, and when this plant gets underwatered, it just sheds leaves everywhere. And so I moved it into my sunroom here and kind of rehabbed it. And so all of the leaves were doing much better, and then moved it back into that up high spot, hit a patch where I forgot about it again, and then all the leaves fell off again. So just yesterday I pruned all the dead leaves off. So all the leaves left are pretty healthy. You can tell that they're healthy because they're hard. Like, I was gonna say succulent, but I don't even think that describes it, because most succulents are still a little squishy. These leaves are like rock solid. Like, they almost feel like plastic. They have a little more give than plastic, but they are rock solid. So I think, I mean, really, as long as I keep up with watering this again, I'm sure in the spring I'll get a ton of new growth, because that's what happened the last time I rehabbed it. And hopefully I can get it to flower again. So when I first bought this, it had these beautiful little flowers on it that look like a goldfish cracker. And they're just adorable, and I would love to have more of them. I also suspect that I might need to repot this, because it's been in this pot for a while, and it's kind of hard to tell. You know, I don't see roots poking out the bottom, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're all wrapped around, because it has grown a lot since I first purchased it. So in the spring, I'll probably take it out of its pot and check on it, since, you know, I haven't repotted it in a few years anyway. And then over here on the left is my Philodendron Brandtianum that I got from Lowe's maybe like a month ago. And it's lost a lot of leaves. When I repotted it, I didn't take enough of the low soil off, I think. And so I'm pretty sure that, you know, in the middle, there's kind of like a dense soil, and then I put a chunky mix around it, and I think that dense soil is just not really treating it that well. So at some point I probably need to take that one out and, you know, adjust it. But for right now, it's just sitting in this little corner. It adds some good height, and I can keep my eye on it. And then over here in this set of south-facing windows, I have 3 plants in this really pretty arched cabinet. I have my Marble Queen Pothos that I just watered, so it's kind of heavy, but it seems to really like the south-facing window. I've had some plants burn, and so I've had to be really careful, but it seems to like it here, so, you know, I'll just keep it here. I got it as a little 4-leaf plant, and it's put out 2 leaves for me, but one of them was incredibly white and it just kind of melted off. That stuff happens, so yeah, I'll just keep waiting for it to grow. I'm perfectly happy being patient with my plants, especially when I first get them and they're so small. So right here is my jade that I've had since 2016, so 5 years. And I had it in the same pot for all 5 years, and I just repotted it this summer. And it was definitely much happier in the other pot. As you can see, some of the leaves are kind of wrinkly on the bottom. But one of the coolest things about this particular jade is that when those little wrinkly leaves fall off, these pop up. So after one of those falls off, I get like 2 little branches. So that's how I have some more branching up there. But I expect that it'll get used to this pot and, you know, do okay after a while. I just repotted it this summer. It's still living. So yeah, I think it'll do fine. And then over here is my Hoya Compacta. I am still figuring Hoya out. I haven't quite been able to figure out when to water this. So you can see there's some dead leaves up there. I don't know if I'm watering it too much. I don't know if I'm not watering it enough. And I also did have to move this one as well to be not in quite as much sun. So there's definitely still some living leaves. So I'm hoping that it'll really like this south-facing window and I can, you know, get it happy again. But everything with plants is a learning experience. So I'm perfectly happy to, you know, keep learning. And I'm sure once I figure Hoya out, I will probably fall in love with them and have a ton more. But for right now, this is the only one that I have until I kind of get a handle on them. So that's all for the plants, but just a little bit more on like the renovation aspect of my office. This corner is where I keep my arcade, which is really awesome. And this brick wall used to be painted gray, and we stripped all the paint off of it to kind of get back to its natural colors. And I think the red brick looks really, really good against the green walls, and I really love the green walls next to the arcade. So I'm just really in love with the colors. And I have a lot of plans to continue styling this space. Like I mentioned earlier, with the pots, and you know, I'll probably get a new stool to go there. And we're doing laundry, so ignore the mattress, but there used to be doors here and we took those down and we are stripping them. I say we, my boyfriend is doing all the work, thank you. But we're going to strip them and then stain them a beautiful color. So that's coming in the future. And then we're also going to be at some point replacing the floors because they took quite the beating during renovations. So one of my passions, other than plants, is interior design, or at least it kind of has become one of my passions recently. So I've watched a lot of different interior design YouTube videos. I've looked at Pinterest, and I have a really good idea of what I want to go for in this space, but it's something that's going to take time, and I'm perfectly happy with that. I know that I want to get like probably a new office chair there, new lamps in this room that will really help me get the vision that I'm looking for. And I'll put up some pictures of some inspiration that I have. What I'm going for is kind of a colorful bohemian with aspects of mid-century modern in it and a little bit of maximalism maybe. I mean, colorful bohemian tends to like have a lot of stuff in it, so I guess that's a little bit of a maximalism touch there. But yeah, this is something that I expect I will work on at least over the next year, maybe longer than that. I feel like within the year I'll probably be finished in here. So I hope you enjoyed this little plant tour. I do have a plant tour of my whole house and all of my plants planned, but that just takes time to kind of get everything put together, so I haven't done it yet, but stay tuned for that. Also, let me know what you thought of the camera footage. I think I have some work to do on just kind of getting the hang of the gimbal, because you can do like different things with buttons and stuff that I'm not used to. So I've got some practice to do. Winston needs to go outside, one sec. I've got some practice to do, but I think that it will be really awesome for plant shopping videos to have a more smooth experience. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!